When ChatGPT first came out, many of my clients thought they were about to become irrelevant. They wondered, why would someone hire me when they can just ask AI? It was a valid question, but what happened was the exact opposite. As I've begun using ChatGPT every day and have gotten way more familiar with it, I've learned its major strengths and its glaring weaknesses. AI can answer questions, but it can't replace a true thought leader. In fact, I've seen AI actually increase the value of thought leadership. In this episode, you're going to learn the hows and the whys and know exactly the role of ChatGPT in your efforts to establish your thought leadership. Let's dive right in. The biggest mistake experts are making with ChatGPT is thinking that AI replaces expertise. It obviously doesn't. It replaces busy work. It helps us research faster. It helps me organize my thoughts. It helps me brainstorm. It helps us become more efficient. I use AI every day, but AI doesn't replace my experience. It doesn't replace my judgment or my wisdom, and it certainly doesn't replace someone who has a proven track record of helping other people achieve results. People are still hiring coaches. They're still hiring consultants or experts, and in many industries, they're doing it more so now than they ever have before. Now here's something that's interesting. I'm actually teaching the exact same thought leadership strategy today that I was teaching before ChatGPT existed. The strategy didn't change. What changed though is that we now have an additional place where people can discover you. Before AI, there were really two places where searchable content could position you as the authority, and that's Google and YouTube. So now we have a third category, answer engines like ChatGPT. And for me, it's really exciting, not because it changes the strategy, but because it gives us another opportunity to be found. Think about how search has evolved. Years ago, people used Google to find websites. They'd type in a topic, open the best website, and then hunt for the answer or search for whatever they were hoping to find. Well, today, people don't want websites, they want direct answers. And so they'll ask questions to Google, they'll ask questions on YouTube, they'll ask questions in ChatGPT. That's why many people now refer to them as answer engines instead of search engines. Instead of finding a website, people go directly to the answer. It's a much better experience, and it's changing how people discover thought leaders. This is also why questions have become so important. People don't just search broad topics anymore. They don't just use keywords, but they describe their exact situation. They give context. They explain their problem. They ask longer, much more detailed, specific questions. And that's incredibly good news for thought leaders, because if you've created content that answers those exact questions, then you're much more likely to become the recommendation to them. That's why I've been teaching question-based content for years, and AI doesn't change that. It actually reinforces it and makes it stronger. Now here's what I find most exciting. AI is making average information easier to get. It's curating the consensus. It's summarizing what everybody already says. That makes real experience even more valuable. The person who's actually been in the trenches, the person who's helped hundreds of clients, the person who has real case studies, real stories, real transformation. That expertise becomes even more valuable because it stands apart from the generic consensus. AI doesn't replace thought leaders. It helps people recognize how valuable true thought leaders really are. When ChatGPT answers a question, it isn't trying to invent authority, it's looking for it. It's looking for the best content, the best sources, the best authority to recommend. That's why discoverability matters so much. If you've built searchable content, if you've consistently answered the questions that your dream clients ask, if you've become the strongest authority in your category, AI has every reason to recommend you. And that's exactly what we want. People often ask me, what type of content does AI understand best? Well, content that's well organized, that's well indexed or referenced or well sourced. That's one of the reasons that YouTube is the strongest content platform available today, Not only do people search on YouTube directly, but Google recommends YouTube content, and now ChatGPT is recommending YouTube content more than ever before. That's why I've spent years helping clients dominate YouTube search. That strategy has become even more valuable in the AI era. If you listen to most AI experts, they're going to spend a lot of time talking about your website, talking about keywords, topic clusters, prompting, and those things have their place. None of them are talking about becoming the strongest authority on an entire category. None of them are teaching you how to identify the ultra-specific questions that your dream clients are asking. None of them are teaching you how to systematically answer every one of those questions until you completely dominate your topic. So that's where I believe the opportunity is. The people who are afraid of AI and ignore it, they're going to be left behind. Not because AI replaces them, but because their competitors will use AI to become more efficient, to create better content, to strengthen their positioning, to become easier to find. AI isn't going to replace you, but your competitors who know how to leverage AI absolutely can replace you. AI is not replacing thought leaders. It's making thought leadership even more valuable. The biggest winners in this AI era won't be the people who simply use AI. They'll be the people who become the authority that AI recommends. If you want to become the go-to expert that Google, YouTube, and AI tools recommend, I'd love to show you exactly how to do that. In my free Thought Leader Dominance webinar, I'll walk you through the strategy that I use to help experts become the go-to authority in their industry. You'll learn how to identify the right category to own. You'll learn how to build a searchable content strategy and how to position yourself where your dream clients are already looking and today's AI answer engines that are already looking for answers. You'll also see real examples of experts who've gone from being virtually unknown online to becoming the obvious choice in their category. So if you're ready to become the authority that people and AI recommend, register for free at theleafstrategy.com. I'll see you there.